Today, I will be begging you for 1 whole minute to follow so I can get TikTok live. Let's go. Please follow, please follow, please follow, please follow.
I'm really trying to figure out why y'all haven't followed me yet. I follow back.
I don't like how every single small creator on this app is just begging for followers, talking about how much they post. I don't give a fuck how much you post. I don't care that you post 30 times a day. I don't care that you're trying to become...
Like, it's giving spam. Like, just work hard, create good content. Like, don't you feel shameful?
But what I will say is y'all really have become very fucking annoying when it comes to wanting to be monetized, because y'all don't actually put out the content. Y'all be like, bigger creators keep telling us to put out the content. We put out the content, we don't actually get no following. No, y'all post once every 2 to 3 weeks and think you about to get followings. You need to be posting every day, all day, in my opinion. But y'all make videos begging for followers. That's what I don't like seeing. I've seen at least 10 videos this fucking week of 10 different people complaining about not having 10K on here. Instead of complaining, put in the fucking work.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl tuadior, and I am back with another video. So we already knew that Beg Talk was viral because creators were out here charging their fans an arm and leg.
10, 30, it don't matter. Either y'all can help me or y'all can't. Don't come up in here playing. Just saying. Because a lot of y'all like to come over here playing.
I need $4. I need $4 because I made my 100 towards my goal for out to eat. Out to eat.
You couldn't even be in a person's live without donating some money. But there is a new form of begging on TikTok that needs to be studied, and that is the begging of small creators.
Bro, get out my house. You still don't have 5,000 followers? Don't come back until you get them followers.
Day 3 of begging for TikTok followers until...
So social media at this moment is more competitive than it's ever been right now. It's like almost everybody and their mother wants to start something, and rightfully so. The more competition out there, the more accounts on there, the harder it is to grow, especially when you're starting from nothing and you're starting from scratch and you don't know exactly what type of content creator you really want. Anyone can be a star now. There is a chance for everyone to be in the spotlight. Now, how fast you go or how far you go may determine on other things. No longer is it now that you have to go to Hollywood or you have to go to big cities to make it anymore. You only really go there if you want networking or if you want to be bigger than the internet. But aside from that, you can stay in your house and really do what you gotta do. But with all this begging that I've seen on TikTok lately for followers, I kind of wish at this point we could bring back those gatekeepers. And I'll tell you why. That TikTok is a very oversaturated, and it's actually a hard platform to start if you're not really used to making short form content. I think that TikTok's algorithm is weird in that it kind of gives you those quick dopamine hits, right? Get on and you'll get a lot of views and things like that, so you get kind of addicted, then it like stops giving you views, then you get confused, and then you don't know what you're doing. That TikTok is set up unlike other social medias is that you can watch a creator all the time and like you wouldn't even think to follow them because the follow button is just on the side. You're kind of scrolling and seeing dopamine hits. So low-key, kind of, if you're not really seeing the creator a lot, you can see a creator one time and then never see them again. And then sometimes even when you follow a creator on TikTok, you don't always see their posts as much as when you don't follow them. So it's like really frustrating to grow on TikTok. So I understand the need of why people try to do follow for follow trains, or there's this trend there, it's called teamwork, right? We'll just follow all of each other and follow back everybody so that we can grow our page and we can grow our platform. You might be saying,
but what? You're a small creator. Why are you coming so hard on the small creators? Do you get the hustle?
First of all, mind your business that pays you because it's not mine. And secondly, I feel that I am authorized to speak on this topic as a small creator who didn't really do all these follow back trains, because one thing about content creation is that you have to build a community. You have to think about the things that are bigger. And sometimes, honestly, it's not always the biggest platforms that are out here making the most money. For example, this creator here that I'm showing, she is talking about her first real big girl brand collaboration and she only has 1K. So the thing about it is that you don't need to be really big to get the things that the big people have. because her content was consistent with what the brand was looking for, and she was posting regularly, producing value. They're producing content, they're building community, they're staying consistent. And it's something that a lot of small creators, I feel like, are lacking, and that is leading to the begging. Never once when I had this channel did I ever have to beg people to subscribe to my channel. I mean, but people subscribe because they like the content. I don't sit here and beg people to follow me. I just create the content and I find your people. And it takes time. It is a very, very, very hard process. And I think that maybe some influencers who blow up overnight, content creators that get a lot of views, they make it seem like it's so easy, right? But there is a lot of thought processes that come into it. And depending on the level that you want to reach in this, there's different levels. And there are some people that have support behind the scenes that you may not notice. Why are we missing the point of the struggle? It is hard, especially on TikTok, because it's like people can look at your content without even following you. And you get frustrated because you're putting out all this content and you're not really getting followers. I've actually started probably like 20 TikTok accounts since 2020 and deleted them all the time. My most recent one is like, I'll be lucky if I get 1 follower. Another thing I've noticed in the small creator space is there's always all these weird ass people, PR people, content growth pages that are telling you,
we are posting every day we open TikTok. If you want to join the challenge, we literally just post every time you open the app, and before you doom scroll or anything, you have to post.
I used to work at TikTok, and I can guarantee you posting 20 times a day on your account will in fact grow your channel. I used to be the social media growth manager on Lemonade, so if you saw any of those ads, that's because of me. One of my KPIs was to post 20 to 30 times a day per platform. This is a goal that I got from TikTok while working at TikTok to grow our account. Boy, did it. In just 6 months, we went from 12,000 followers to over 200,000, all by my efforts of doing it. So if you're considering doing it,
The girl who posted 25 times a day, well, I just did the math. If she posted 25 times a day for 30 days and she got hundreds of thousands of followers, let's just do the math. 25 times 30, that's 7. That doesn't account for the additional views of people just watching her page because one video. Figuring out how you can make yourself seen, build your brand, make money, find your community.
Now you have to post, telling you to post all over the place, post at certain times, don't post this, don't post that. And it can get so overwhelming because there's all these rules. But the reality is that everybody can do the same steps but get different results because it depends on what you bring. There are certain types of videos that I can do that other creators, if they did the same thing I did, they wouldn't be as successful. There are certain things that other people do that I can't do as a creator. Or not that I can't do it, but it would take more work for me to get to that point. For example, vlogging. Vlogging is not something that I'm used. Money is cool and numbers are cool. And those things do help you when you're trying to get deals and elevate. But you have to remember that the engagement is the most important thing. Brands pay influencers for their audience because that is a whole nother relationship that they can't do as like a big corporation, right? They pay to get access to your audience, but you don't have an audience. You have an illusion of an content. Your content, you don't have content. You go to the person's page, you don't know what kind of content they make. Post dancing videos with their friends, or what did I eat today, or just kind of selfish content, like you're just posting things about yourself. It doesn't provide any value for other people. Like it doesn't teach people something, it doesn't entertain people. It's just kind of like you like documenting your life. And like they always say on social media, I take this with a grain of salt, people don't really care about you per se unless there's something about your aspect that is either relatable or can entertain them or teach them something new. So for example, if you do a story time, right, it's about you, but the idea is to entertain the audience, right? It's providing value. But for you to just sit there and document your life or vent about something that nobody knows about, that's not going to help. They have bad quality, and that depends specifically on your niche, right? So you'll have a beauty creator that uses filters all over their videos. You can see that your competition, which I hate to say, but other creators in your space, they have the elevated camera setup. They have DSLRs. They use like really good cameras. That's the unspoken rule in the beauty community, is your quality has to be on point because people have to see the makeup. They have to see the quality, right? There's a lot of inconsistency, just not posting a lot, not staying consistent. I'm guilty of this one though, I'll be honest. You're not showing any personality. There's nothing that makes you stand out. And when you have to think about all these things, it makes it so crazy, but that is the reality, that content creation in a sense is a business, right? You have to do that. And sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, but if you want to make it, you have to do. So it's like, do you want to create content for yourself? Or do you want to make it into something? If you want to make it into something, you may have to do things that you don't want to do. For example, me personally, commentary wasn't necessarily what I thought about when I first opened my channel, but I noticed that when I kind of tapped into that niche earlier on, that was kind of what people gravitated towards. When I would speak about topics, speak about things, that's what people gravitated towards me about. That's what people have resonated with. But if you want to make it in this space, you have to think about your end goal and your end motivation. And it's just so irritating to see people beg for followers, beg for community, because that's not something that you should beg for. If you have to beg for people to follow you and subscribe to you, like, I don't want to follow you, because that just makes me feel like you don't have anything to value, because people will naturally gravitate towards you. The point of you and finding and starting as a self-made, person is that you have to discover it a lot on your own, and it sucks. And yes, I understand needing that initial boost, but it cannot be at the essence of finding your community and sacrificing on your engagement. But big creators are kind of mad at small creators because they feel that small creators have better community than bigger creators, because bigger creators at one point did have a small community, but they became big, right? And so people always assume that if you become big, you're out of touch. And there is some truth to that. I have seen creators who I was there when they first started, and now their content doesn't really hit the same because they're so big, and now their vlogs are like about them like traveling all over the world rather than that relatable stuff that I used to love from them. So I definitely see that part, that essence of smaller creators. We don't have the big thing. We still have to prove ourselves. And so we know how hard it is to gain that 1 subscriber or that 10 subscribers. It can be rough. It can be very rough. So we're a little bit closer to our audiences because we know how much it's a privilege to have an audience. Even if you have an audience of 10 subscribers, 50 subscribers, 500 subscribers, 900 subscribers, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, you should always be grateful for that, because first of all, it's not easy to start any kind of social media platform from the scratch. It is hard. It is hard work. It is dedication. It is labor. It is trial and error, especially if you come in kind of not knowing exactly what to do, or your ideas are flopping. There's a lot of inconsistency in that path. And I just feel that if you are not equipped to deal with that, and if you don't have a business mindset when you do this stuff, you can't do it unless you're doing it for a passion or a hobby. You have to have a purpose when you do this kind of stuff, right? Now, I do know there are some creators that are exceptions to the rules, but usually it's because they have something very interesting about themselves, or they're attractive or something like that makes people stick in to see or tune in, right? But you have to give people a reason to want to follow you, right? You cannot just say, oh, I want followers. Give them something to attract to. And I don't see why that has to be a hard thing sometimes, but you know how it is. So this is the new beg talk, begging for followers, begging for engagement. You shouldn't have to do that. If your content is good, your people will find you. And I am a testament to that. Your people will. And that is the beauty of content creating, is you are not meant for everybody or anybody. You are meant for a specific audience. You're meant for people who get it, get what you're trying to do, get your vision. More exciting is that you're just trying to see what works. What can I do that works? And you get burnt out, you get tired, but if you truly want to be a creator and you truly want to be on here, you're going to ride through it. And most of the time you reap what you sow. So I'm your girl tuadior Mielka. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I love you all. Please drop a like, follow, and subscribe if you care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.